What up? This is Rama Screen, and in the anticipation of Among the Beasts arriving in theaters and on demand February 10, I'm here talking with the star of this new film, Libe Barer. How are you, Libe?
Hi, I'm good. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Congratulations. What an amazing season you're having because you have, of course, Marvel's Moon Girl and this action thriller, Among the Beasts, coming out in the same week. How does that feel for you? Specifically, how does it feel to go from a spunky PR manager, Casey, to an action thriller like this where you play a gangster daughter, a gangster's daughter?
Yeah, it's really crazy. It's cool. I mean, I think that it's a really sort of unique moment where I get to sort of celebrate two of the two sort of works I've done that I feel really proud of for very different ways that sort of like run the gamut of the type of work I like to do.
I'm sure. I'm sure. I want to ask further about Lola, your character in Among the Beasts, because I love that scene at the dry cleaner. You know, it's kind of a funny scene, but it's also an indicator that Lola can talk her way out of anything. Obviously,
Mhm.
Lola is young, but she is aware of her father's reputation. She capitalizes on that. She can potentially be ruthless, but at the same time, she's helping LT. So, how would you best describe Lola? Is she an anti-hero? Is she a necessary evil? Or is she a person who wants to be perceived as bad, but actually good at heart?
Mm. I think Lola doesn't think in those terms. I think that she's just, you know, I think she's just trying to survive and do the best she can to sort of like protect her people and look out for her cousin and, save her cousin and, and these other girls too. And I think that she's and it's funny, like, even though, without giving anything away, like, some of the
Mhm.
stuff that she winds up doing later on is like, is like questionably bad guy stuff. But I think, like, it's all in the interest of survival. It's all in the interest of protecting her sort of tribe and family. And I think that she just, like, has a lot of love and is doing her best in the situation that she's in.
For a nice person actor such as yourself, how do you bring out that badass side of you for Lola?
I'd like to think that it's in there somewhere. Um, I don't know. I love like, when I get a character that's very like rich and that I really love the world and the way that she's written. I'll often spend a lot of time sort of like walking around in the shoes of the character, just sort of like thinking the thoughts and getting the world going and really making that like real for myself as possible before showing up to set. And um yeah, and that's kind of how I build these characters.
Fair, fair, fair. I spoke with your co-star Tori the other day.
Oh, cool.
He spoke highly of you. So I want to ask the similar question. What was it like for you acting alongside Tori on this project? What was your process with Tori in creating that dynamics between Lola and LT?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna just start with a terrible joke and just say, well, Tori sucks, but no, there's not even it's not even funny because he's actually just genuinely he's a brilliant actor and a wonderful human. And I think that and he was like he's such a giving actor too. And like we Matthew was really all about, he was really good at guiding us and was very much about like, following the magic that happened in the moment. And so like he would see something happening between us and he'd be like, okay, let's lean into that moment. Maybe like we'll flush, and something would be fleshed out. And Tori was always willing to play both for, both in his stuff and even like, even if the camera wasn't even on him for my coverage, like um, he was always just willing to play and is like he's truly like an artist and um yeah, and it's always really fun to work with actors like that.
Cool, cool, cool. Libe, you've been on some much bigger gigs in the past, including Sneaky Pete, Colony, Parenthood, even Elvis last year, and of course Marvel's Moon Girl. So, when working on an independent film like Among the Beasts, what is it about the indie film circuit that's appealing to you? When was it fast and easy process for you to say yes to a script like Among the Beasts?
I mean, I think that, the reason that we do movies like this are because, when they're so good and so rich. And I think that like I was really excited to do, I loved the script from the beginning and I loved the character Lola. I thought she was really different than I knew I've gotten to play really. And I thought that it was and yeah, and I think that it like I think indie movies really give actors and directors the sort of space to play in a way that sometimes in bigger projects you don't really have the time and space for. And so the combination of that and getting like a genuinely good script and character is like so fun, and I feel very lucky to get to do.
I have to ask you this, and I asked Tori about this. I want to ask your opinion on this. The ending to this film, Among the Beasts, was a bit inconclusive, so as to suggest that there might be a follow up or a potential sequel after this to continue the story. How did you feel about that ending? Did writer director Matthew Newton intentionally plan this to be potentially a franchise? In other words, should we anticipate a sequel?
You know, hopefully. uh it's funny, the ending was actually a little bit different when we shot it. There was
Oh.
like that wasn't or I actually don't know if that it changed a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, but I think we've talked about, if we were given the opportunity to, I think we would all jump at the possibility of doing a sequel because I think it's a special work of movie, and I think that, and it was like such a joy to get to work on. So,
Yeah,
um,
I would love to see how that continues. Now, finally, my final question, Libe, it's a fun one. I'm a big fan of your sister as well, Ariella. Are there any plans for you and Ariella to maybe get together on a project? Maybe you guys can play siblings on in a movie or something. Did you guys ever talk about that possibility of collaborating at all?
yeah, I mean, it's funny you say that because we actually did a movie that we play sisters in,
Oh,
and
good.
that should be coming out sometime this year. It was called Disfluency. It was another indie movie. Yeah, and it's been doing the festivals, and yeah, I think it's supposed to be coming out this year, and I actually play her younger sister, and yeah.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. I hadn't heard about it. Now I'm very excited to see
Oh,
the
good.
movie.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
for my fans at home, everybody go check out Among the Beasts, arriving in theaters and on demand February 10. Libe, thank you for talking to me and congratulations.
Thank you.